Chavarin. For Coronado, number 1, Jaden Hardy. Number 2, Richard Isaacs. Number 5, Felix Reeves. Number 10, Terrell Hunt. And number 33, Jalen Martinez. Coronado out of Nevada, undefeated. Bishop O'Dowd, traditional powerhouse in California. So this ought to be a fantastic matchup between these two teams. This is a grind session event brought to you by Tanager Sports, live from Solano Community College. And the event is hosted by Salesian College Preparatory. Salesian will wrap up the event with the matchup they'll match up today, wrap up today with the matchup against Clark, also out of Nevada. But I'm being rejoined here in the broadcast by Chris Babcock, voice of NorCal Sports TV. And Chris, Bishop O'Dowd has been one of the programs by which to measure California basketball for quite some time now. Roughly how many years would you say Bishop O'Dowd has been a California powerhouse?
About 30, 40 years.
I was about to say 20 or so.
Yeah, and they're coached by one of my favorites, Lou Ritchie, an 89 alum of Bishop O'Dowd. And
wow.
They played some tough games this week. They lost last night in a game normally our NorCal Sports TV streaming crew takes care of. They lost at the buzzer to San Leandro last night. And then they had a tough loss against Salesian on Martin Luther King Day, where they were up by 14 points and then couldn't finish and get the win. So
they need a W.
They need a W, and after the game, it was like, well, don't worry about the San Leandro game. Let's get home, and let's move on to against a quality opponent in Coronado led by one of the best.
Hold that thought. Let's go to public announce for the official starting lineups, and then we'll get to that. Chris, for the first time today, the projected starting lineup was the actual starting lineup. A couple of times, coaches changed starters on me at the last moment, but they finally actually started exactly who they told me they were going to start. I'm a happy camper. We don't know what we can unplug.
So the keys for tonight for Bishop O'Dowd, they need to bounce back. Had a tough loss against San Leandro. Their mental toughness, it's their 5th game in 6 days and finished. They lost 2 games with leads late in the game. Ball out of bounds will go to Bishop O'Dowd. For Coronado, I think it's real important for them to get off to a fast start and work the ball through the paint to their junior center, Jalen Martinez, and eventually they give the basketball to Bishop O'Dowd.
Jalen Martinez is a big old boy. Wow. And I overheard someone saying, Chris, this is the 3rd game in 3 nights for Bishop O'Dowd, and you mentioned 5 games in 6 nights.
Yes.
Wow. That's a lot of basketball.
And the thing is, it's not that the players are going to be overly tired, but if you're making mistakes, you have no time. Practice time is just game.
Yeah. The mental aspect of it all that makes it more difficult. Jaden Hardy draws first blood for Coronado with a dunk in the lane.
Rated the number 2 player of the 2021 class in ESPN. And he had a near 41-point triple-double earlier this season. With 41 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists.
Oh, he makes a bad pass there, and he is made to pay. Ryzon Norris with the steal and the layup.
Had 7 points last night against San Leandro. They break the press, and he attacks the basket.
So Ryzon Norris looking for the and one here.
And you talk to Coach Ritchie. It's one of his, maybe not most talented teams, but one of his favorite teams, one of his best teams. I mean, it's a team. They really enjoy playing with each other and as a group. And, yeah, they've had some frustrating losses, but they play the best competition as most of the teams that are playing here today. So they'll get
From
better.
the volleyball line, Jaden Hardy missed it. Held ball on the rebound, and the arrow favors Coronado. Okay, excuse me, it went to Bishop O'Dowd. Okay, so now Coronado will get the next.
Now this press from Coronado is giving a little, the press by Bishop O'Dowd is giving Coronado a little bit of fits, but not anything they're not used to.
Three ball on the way, and it's good. Felix Reeves.
As the defense shows their attention to Hardy and Martinez, Reeves spots up from the three-point line and nails it.
Short jumper in the lane, no good. William Chavrin. Here comes Coronado and thrown right to Jaron Edwards. Going the other way. Drive and kick. Brendan Patrick, no good. Offensive rebound and stick back attempt by Ryzen Norris, no good. Coronado, three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound, Ryzen Norris. Here comes Bishop O'Dowd. Tray ball, and Nico McNeil, no good. Rebound, Jaden Hardy.
Some quick shots for the Dragons.
Hardy, 3-ball, no good. I've been saying that a lot lately. No good, no good.
And Norris with the rebound, and he's fouled. Ball out of bounds to the Dragons.
Jalen Martinez with his first foul, team second.
So Coronado's, pressuring the D, but they just got done playing Salesian, and the folks continue to watch our games. The 9:30 game and the pressure that Salesian puts on you.
It's incredible. Left-hand layup is good, Ryzen Norris. I've seen Salesian 5 times over the last 2 years. They are a very impressive basketball team. They will flat get in your jock strap and steal it from you if you let them.
Yeah. Nice play by Will Chavron, getting the ball along the baseline, finding a teammate in a great possession. And then O'Dowd, now they're known for their athletic players and slam dunks and all these good things. But Coach Ritchie in practice and in game film, he'll get more excited about them drawing a charge than drawing a charge because it's a turnover for the other team. It swings the momentum, shows your toughness. It just exemplifies a lot of things that is Bishop O'Dowd basketball.
Mid-range is good.
And Coach Ritchie yelled out layup, and that wasn't a layup, but it was so wide open, and it was such a nice, efficient press break. Will Chavron with the elbow jumper, and then Coronado answers. Pretty pass.
Rebound, Jalen Martinez.
And then comes down and hits the three from downtown. Yikes.
Wild shot, strong rebound by Terrell Hunt. And he throws the baseball pass right to Nico McNeil. 3-ball on the way, no good. William Chavron. Rebound, Jaden Hardy. A lot of fast shots on both sides of the ball.
And in a game earlier against Durango, Hardy had 13 points, 14 assists, and 11 rebounds. And, of course, his brother is playing at UNLV. So the brothers get to spend a lot of time together. The older brother coming and watching the younger brother. It's got to be a powerful thing for the family.
Must be. Rebound, William Chavron. Jaden Hardy drives baseline, kicks it up top. 3-ball is good. Taj Phillips.
Just a sophomore, McNeil didn't force the basketball, showing his veteran savviness and finding the youngster Phillips with the big shot.
Tray ball on the way. Max Howard.
And the Dragons are outsized, but they're playing with more physicality underneath the basket. And when they play in the big games, they're going against big post players, so it's nothing new for them.
Richard Isaacs picks up his second foul.
And O'Dowd last year had Elijah Hardy, who went to Washington, and Seam Gaskin were 4-year varsity players. So did they lighten their schedule or do any of those things? No, they played as tough a schedule.
Oh, wow. Austin Ronzone had a shot, tried to make one pass too many there.
They are the D2 North Coast section defending champions. And they lost in the open division. Nice offense by Coronado.
Terrell Hunt. Free throw line jumper is good.
And Coronado, a very young team.
Brendan Patrick goes all the way and lays it in for Brett Bishop O'Dowd. 12-11, Coronado.
Averaging over just 13 a game for Coach Ritchie.
Long miss by Jaden Hardy. Rebound, Austin Ronzone. There we go, Austin Ronzone for three.
And Coach Ritchie said after the game last night, everybody's going to play today. So when you wake up in the morning and you're the 12th or the 13th guy on the bench, that makes you feel good, and Coronado answers.
Terrell Hunt. Just inside the three-point line, near the top of the key. Oh, beautiful drive, nice finish, reverse layup, Brendan Patrick.
The senior guard with the basket.
And Chris, even though there were a lot of early shots taken, the two offenses have ignited, and they are keeping up a very nice pace now.
Yes, good high school basketball.
Wow, Terrell Hunt, 6 first quarter points. 16-16 with 20 seconds left in the first quarter. Yep, he extended his arm. He had to get that call.
Player control foul, and we've got some more substitutions.
Ryzon Norris, his first team first.
Couldn't ask for a better game, better start, tied at 16.
$12 seconds to go. Oh, a half-court trap by O'Dowd. Brilliant coaching. Oh, and look at the steal. Jaden Hardy. He dishes it to Terrell Hunt.
And quietly has 8 points.
Yes. What a first quarter. And after the first quarter, it is Coronado 18, Bishop O'Dowd 16. We will take a break, but we hope you are enjoying 2019 Crush in the Valley live from Solano College right here in Fairfield, California. A grind session event brought to you by Tanager Sports. I'm Leroy, being joined on color by Chris. And we'll be back for the second quarter.
Coronado basketball to start the second quarter.
Oh, Hardy. That ball did everything but go down. Good rotation. It was a nice shot, nice attempt. Just didn't go. If you're a coach, you can live with that.
Most certainly. Good look.
7:43 left. Second quarter. Coronado retains possession. Maxwell Howard on the deep right wing being harassed there by Matt Dessler. Rayshawn Martinez on the drive. A foul on William Shavrin. That is his first team second.
Easy go about it to the basket for Rayshawn Martinez off the inbound.
Bishop O'Dowd down by 4 on the attack.
Patrick.
Wow. Brendan Patrick with some great work on the baseline. I don't know how he stayed in bounds on that, but he did. And here's the steal. Spin.
Pretty move.
Ryzen Norris.
Nice move around the basket with a lot of confidence.
Yep. And just like that, we're tied back up. It's 20-20. Solon, William Shavrin into the front court. He gives it to Ryzen Norris for 3. And Norris now has 9 points.
Easy look set up by his teammate. And you can't give those wide open looks to the Dragons.
They will make you pay. Jaden Hardy drives across the lane. He kicked it over to Rayshawn Martinez. Air ball. William Shavrin going to try to go coast to coast. Late whistle, but a good whistle. Jaden Hardy got him. Yeah, Jaden Hardy. It's his second foul. Team 5th.
Shavrin has played a lot of varsity basketball.
Has he been on the varsity since his freshman year?
It seems like it. He's averaging over 11 a game, just over 4 rebounds and nearly 3 assists. He had 12 points last night, or 17 points against San Leandro.
Misses both those free throws.
And he's committed to Cal Poly Pomona.
But it's Bishop O'Dowd 23, Coronado 20. Tray ball on the way. No good by Felix Reeves.
They're settling for threes.
Yep, they are. Nico McNeil with the rebound. They work it forward, and the basket is good. Aaron Anini.
And that's why McNeil's their leading assist man, averaging nearly 5 a game. He had
all alone, Felix Reeves.
So they get to the basket after we say they're settling for threes, and I have a feeling that the coach is going to say, let's do more of that.
Exactly. 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here. But an extremely entertaining game, currently being led by Bishop O'Dowd, 25-22 over Coronado. Chris, how much of a toll is the travel from Nevada to here?
I don't know what route they did.
Let's assume they drove. Let's assume they drove.
If they drove, there could be benefits. There can be benefits to that.
Okay, for the team that's driving.
Yes,
What's
because
the
you're going to spend a little time together.
Bonding, okay.
Bonding. Now, this late in the year, maybe that bonding isn't as fun as it might have been in the beginning. I'm not sure. But it all depends on if they bust here or if they flew here. But
yeah, because if they flew here, the difference is negligible, I'm sure.
Right. Nice block.
Good shot blocked by Felix Reeves. And they certainly have not looked sluggish at all.
No.
25-22, Bishop O'Dowd on top of Coronado. Stolen, Coronado. The lob, the pass back. The little floater is good. Richard Isaacs.
Okay, Mr. Announcer, you say we're going to settle for threes and we're just going to go to the basket twice in a row.
And you didn't think they listened to you.
my wife would say, well, if you say enough things, eventually somebody will hear something.
She's right.
Wilsonberger there in the paint. Coronado will run.
Oh, wow. The pass hit Felix Reeves right in the hands. I think it was a case of like in football where you try to run before you catch. He was trying to drive before he gathered and caught.
And again, I love when seeing players be unselfish, but I think Reeves at that point, you got the cut to the basket, go and attack.
Nico McNeil, double teamed. They obviously want the ball out of McNeil's hands. Layup is good. William Chavarin.
When they've got the ball, when the Dragons have got the ball along the baseline, they've been very successful today.
Tray ball, Richard Isaacs, no good. Got a foul on the play. And the foul is committed by Felix Reeves, his first, team sixth. Bishop O'Dowd leading by 3. 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
Picked up the ball in the backcourt. Coach yelled timeout. We all heard him, but the officials didn't call it.
Well, the official pointed to him, but then coach kind of, showed body language that he didn't really want it. William Chavarin.
And Chavarin finishes with the basket.
Long tray from Jaden Hardy, no good. Offensive rebound, Maxwell Howard, no good. And Nico McNeil pulls down the board. Oh, he extended the arm. And Nico McNeil, that is his first, team third. And Chris, it's just an age-old principle. They'll let you put the arm up, but they will not let you extend it.
Yes. And right in front of the officials.
Right there. 3:08 to go in the first half. 29-24. Bishop O'Dowd has expanded their lead to 5. Jalen Martinez missed it. He got fouled on that, I thought.
Well, he did a good job of sealing off. Got it in a little bit of hurry. But what you see so often out of players, when they think they were fouled, then they are going to cure it by reaching in and trying to steal it. And then what happens is they're called
for a foul.
Yes.
And Martinez just picked up his second foul. At the free throw line, Jaron Edwards makes the first.
That's where the 2 words next play have been made so famous, and there's so many examples that we've seen today. You see it all the games is they get frustrated and they want to react, and it's human nature. I get it. I was the same way, but not even as talented as Martinez is.
He elevates. That was Terrell Hunt, who had 8 points in the first quarter. Stolen, Jaden Hardy.
Norris got a little bit out ahead of himself.
And it's stolen back by Bishop O'Dowd. We've got a 2-on-2.
That's a pretty drive.
Beautiful. Brendan Patrick.
If I didn't know him in the way he plays, I would say he was a little out of control, but he wasn't. That's how he plays, and he's confident and strong when he gets to the basket. Oh,
beautiful work, Jalen Martinez.
And he wears number 33. That was almost a skyhook. And if you're watching us and you don't know who shot the skyhook,
shame on you. And that was unrehearsed, folks. But we just both feel the exact same way. You've got to know your basketball history.
Patrick, again, strong to the basket, and
he's sitting on 10 now.
And settling for threes. And then when that happens, the Dragons will run.
McNeil, drive and kick, no good. Stolen, and Nico McNeil. Oh, it might be offensive Nope, they're going to give him 2 shots. Who are they going to say? 10. Okay. Terrell Hunt, his first, team 8th. There were 2 guys down there, didn't know which one they were going to tag with the foul. They gave it to Hunt.
And Nico McNeil, another one of those seniors that have played a lot of basketball for Coach Ritchie, and there was in a pack of Coronado players, but somehow came out with the basketball, shot up, got fouled, and got a couple of free throws, but unfortunately for him, he missed the first.
But quietly, Bishop O'Dowd has opened their largest lead of the game of 8 points. They can make it 9 if McNeil cashes in here. Yes, 9-point lead. So Coronado needs a bucket. They need to slow down this bleeding. An 11-point turnaround in the last 7 minutes. Great pass, Jalen Martinez. Terrell Hunt, he's now got 10.
But he had 8 in the first quarter, and that's his first field goal made here in the second quarter. But a high post entry to your big guy really opens it up on the low block. And see if Coronado and then Chavron steps on the baseline. But see if Coronado can duplicate that in possessions.
And there's really no reason not to. It's just the question, will they do it? They've got the personnel. Instead, they opt for a long jumper by Rashawn Martinez, and the rebound goes to O'Dowd. Chavron no good. Wow, look at that rebound by Ryzon Norris, and he kicks it out to Taj Phillips off the side of the backboard. Ryzon Norris regained possession, and he scores a tough bucket in the lane.
So they put constant pressure on you. So we got the ball. No, you don't. It's in the Dragons' hands, and then they're coming the other way.
Phillips. Coronado needs a timeout.
And then Norris almost with another steal. But you can see how quickly and how tenacious they can be defensively.
Yes. It's an 11-point lead. Nice dunk. Jalen Martinez.
Seemed like a simple play, but the first time they really got the big fella close to the basket.
And our score, Bishop O'Dowd 39, Coronado 30. 23-12 was the score in that quarter in favor of Bishop O'Dowd, and that's how they were able to take that big lead. We hope you are enjoying the 2019 Crush in the Valley. Game 7 is at the half. It's being streamed live from Solano College in Fairfield, California, a grind session event brought to you by Tanager Sports. For Chris Babcock, I'm Leroy Watson. We're about to go into halftime, and we'll talk with you with about 3 minutes to go before the second half and get you ready for the remainder of this game. Terrell Hunt with 10. Jalen Martinez supported him with 7. Felix Reeves chipped in 5. And there were 2 each from Jaden Hardy, Richard Isaacs, Maxwell Howard, and Rashawn Martinez. In the second quarter, Bishop O'Dowd just went to an entirely different level defensively. Coronado did not have an answer for that. Let's see what the Cougars can do to match the defensive intensity coming out of Bishop O'Dowd. If you're Bishop O'Dowd, you just want to keep doing what you're doing. Ryzen Norris and Brendan Patrick have been very consistent. They've been scoring points easily and in turn making things a lot easier on their teammates. And even though Nico McNeil only has 1 point, let's not discount what he has done with the ball in his hands. He has kept the ball under control, made good decisions, and gotten his teammates where they needed to be. I'm being rejoined now in the broadcast by Chris Babcock, voice of NorCal Sports TV. And Chris, I was just commenting on the fact that even though Nico McNeil only has 1 point, he has been able to control the tempo. He's been making really good decisions. And, yeah, you can kind of throw the fact that he only had 1 point out the window. He really set the tone for his team.
His contributions to the team aren't measured in points. And having a great relationship with Coach Ritchie and knowing him very well, I asked him because I wanted to make sure this was the message that he shared with his players at halftime, and it was this. We were up against Salesian, one of the best teams in the state, if not the nation, on Monday by 14 points, something like that. Are we going to learn from that and hold on and get this win today? Pretty much all that needed to be said, because effort-wise and all the things, they're doing everything that he was expecting them to do, but it's the life lessons. And it's not often in life, and it's always special in athletics, is redemption and learning from the past. And in life, in everyday life, you don't really get all that opportunity. In sports, it happens all the time, and it's one of the great things.
It's true.
So the lesson, big crowd like this, big event just like this, you're up on Salesian, you're playing well, Hardy, good, excellent player, one of the top in the nation, all these good things. You're ahead. Can you finish? So that's the challenge for the Dragons. And for Coronado, work the ball a little closer to the basket, then it'll open up your 3-point game. But I know Hunt had a strong first quarter and not many opportunities in the second quarter.
Bishop O'Dowd with the basketball to start the second half, leading by 9, 39-30. Looks like a 1-2-2 that they're pushing way, way, way out. And Brendan Patrick makes them pay.
Well, not including the minutes during halftime, obviously, but it's been about a 5-minute spurt for him, including the closing of the second quarter, that's helped, along with McNeil's passion and energy, that's allowed him to get this 12-point lead that lasted about 2 seconds.
Felix Reeves, just like he started the first quarter, he hits a big 3 to start the third quarter. And Reeves is covering a lot of ground at the top of that press. I mean a lot of ground. William Shavrin slithers into the gap, makes it to the rim.
He shouldn't be able to get in there that easily.
He should not. You're right. That defeats the purpose of the zone.
Yep.
Big man, Jalen Martinez. He should have thrown up a baby hook. I don't know.
And Patrick saw that coming.
Yes.
Because his other teammate, Norris, had the other passing lane
what
cut
a
off.
steal by Richard Isaacs. Oh, and he blows the layup. Gets the rebound. Passes it out to Jaden Hardy. Hardy goes for the 3, and no.
But that last possession before the missed shot
Yes.
for Coronado, O'Dowd lured him into it. It's like a great defense luring a quarterback into throwing a pass and thinking somebody's open, and they're not.
Baseline tray ball is good. Brendan Patrick Patrick with 16 points on the evening.
Might be somebody who I'm talking to after the game.
Quite possibly. And we've got a foul.
And Nico knew he fouled. I mean, there was no doubt about it. The old-fashioned raised his hand, took the...
It's on me.
It's on me, and he'll make Hardy make 3 free throws.
Jaden Hardy at the free throw line. 3 attempts coming in. He misses the first. So it's already a smart foul by Nico McNeil.
Yes.
And don't look now, but the lead has swelled to 14 for Bishop O'Dowd. Wonder where we remember that number from.
And if they had a timeout right now, I guarantee you that Lou would bring it up to him. I mean, he's he's truthful, and that's all you can ask out of coaches. And sometimes you might not like the truth, but being truthful. Can Coronado get a stop? They do.
And yes, they did get a stop there. Brendan Patrick looking for his third 3 of the third quarter. It did not go, and the rebound rolls out of bounds. Coronado with possession. 5:32 to go in the third period.
And Coach Kaufman in his 10th season calls out Kansas. We'll see what that play's run.
Oh, what a spin in the lane by Jaden Hardy. Oh, beautiful play.
Okay. Put that one in the copy machine and duplicate it about 15 more times, and you can win this basketball game. That was simple. I would just yell out Kansas every time, and hopefully the Dorothy comes out. You don't know who Dorothy in Kansas is again.
Shame on you. You want to know something really funny, Chris? I purchased a copy of that book many years ago. I finally read it back in November, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
The big fella
Jalen Martinez. I see you, big boy. And we do mean big, folks. If you're watching the stream, you can see him for yourself. But if you're listening, we're not making this up. He's probably about 6'11", 270, 275, you think, Chris?
Yeah, and he affected the shot by McNeil and was once a quick 14-point lead as an
evaporated to 8.
Opportunity for them to get another shot off a turnover.
Coronado can make this a one-possession game. They can trim it all the way down to 5 if they make a 3.
Your top players don't even touch the ball.
Woo! What a block by Jaden Hardy.
What's on the menu? It's not on anybody's menu. It's a Wilson burger, and that one was served back hot by Hardy. But was talking about is we just took the great possession off the Kansas play.
And then you turn around and do that.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you're coaching 14 and 19-year-old kids.
Most certainly.
Basket is good. William Shavrin, he's got 10.
It was the same thing with football with me, and that's why I used to have brown hair. Now I've got gray. But then my dad says, well, at least you have hair. So, you know.
There's that.
I'll be proud of my gray and embrace it.
Ryzen Norris called for his second foul, team second. Got to be impressed by Jalen Martinez and his broad skill set. Shot no good. Terrell Hunt.
And Jelani Warren.
Oh, what a pass.
Good basketball.
Now, that's what coaches say. Give it up, you'll get it back. Chevron just proved what that means.
Sharing the basketball and trusting that you'll get it back, but all started from the rebound by Jelani Warren, who is a multi-sport guy, plays football for their section-winning football team, coached by Napoleon Kaufman. And then seeing him get the strong rebound from the big, tall Martinez. We'll just call him a 7-footer.
guy to Shavrin. Shavrin made a brilliant, about halfway across the court bounce pass. And then he gets it back, gets the layup.
Norris has not had a lot of baskets, but they've been big baskets. That was a pretty athletic move. And then he draws the charge. And what is his first thing he does? He looks at Coach Ritchie because he knows what the charge means to him. Like, hey, Coach, I got one of those for you. It wasn't a slam dunk. He got right in the lane, planted his feet, and took the charge. And now it's a 15-point lead for the Dragons.
And remember, that's a guy who's 7 feet, every bit of 270, 280 pounds. Takes a lot of guts to stand there and take that hit.
And they probably had a meeting. Who's going to be the first to take a charge against Martinez? And they're all fighting to put their hands up.
So we've got a full timeout. We'll take a break. We hope you're enjoying 2019 Crush in the Valley live from Solano College, hosted by Salesian College Preparatory, a grind session event brought to you by Tanager Sports. I'm Leroy, this is Chris, and we'll be back in a moment. Period. 54-39, they're on top of Coronado. Into the lane, Ryzen Norris. He is fouled on the shot. Foul committed by Felix Reeves. That's his second, team third.
So they're at the free throw line waiting to make it their largest lead of the game. And then they missed the first free throw.
He's got another shot at it. Oh, he airballs the second one. Don't know what happened to Ryzen Norris on that one.
He'll go next play. And something his teammates will give him some junk about on the films.
Terrell Hunt. It's his first basket of the second half.
Pretty simple basketball, high post entry. Hunt cuts the basket. And the chance for the old-fashioned three-point play.
That's the third foul on Nico McNeil, third team foul of the second half. And he missed it. A lot of missed free throws on both sides of the fence here. Missed opportunities. Shavrin, oh, he almost spun that in off the glass. Rebound, Jaden Hardy. Richard Isaacs, 4-3, it's good, and he's fouled.
I don't even know how he saw the basket, took one off the side of the head. And that's not the first time he's got hit up near the eyes, but this one he blinked and made it, and chance to take this from a 15-point lead just like that to a possible 9-point lead for O'Dowd. And they'll press.
And perhaps even more critically, that's the fourth foul on a Nico McNeil. So the 4-point play by Richard Isaacs.
And then the Dragons with
turn it over.
Unforced error, and then Coach Ritchie calls the timeout.
Because momentum has left the building if you are Bishop O'Dowd. And not only does he want his players to learn from losing that lead, he's got to make sure he adjusts as well.
Yes. And everybody's learning.
Yeah.
Coaches, players, through the season, through every game, every quarter, and he will remind them. And that pass wasn't caused by the defense.
No, it was
It
not.
was just being careless with the basketball. It's one thing your opponent makes a great play, gets a steal, it's a good athlete, okay, I get it. But
Or
that
they
was
jump at you with a double team.
right,
and,
whatever it may be. But just a pass that with no with no velocity on it, no.
In tennis, they call it
Yes,
unforced error.
Yes, most certainly.
And I've never understood why coaches will leave a game. They'll have 2-3 extra timeouts. Hey, go ahead and use them. If your team has lost momentum, okay, let's call timeout. Let's collect ourselves. Let's try to get that momentum back. And that was clearly what Coach Ritchie wanted to do.
And then Maxwell Howard into the game, got in a little bit of a hurry, new into the game at the three-point line, immediately tries to put the ball on the floor, but his feet moved. Another pass, but Patrick will run it down. That's pretty.
Great pass. Oh, what a block from behind by Max Howard. Making up for that mental gaffe. But then Jelani Warren with the strong offensive rebound and the stick back.
He stayed with it.
Jaden Hardy, no good. Richard Isaacs hustling over there.
Norris on the floor, but got a little too much contact with the leg and whistled for the foul. That's
Ryzen
a hustle
Norris.
foul. That happens.
It's his third, team fifth. But Chris, I see where you're going with that. That's the kind of foul as a coach you can live with.
Yes.
Tray ball, it's good. Jaden Hardy, that's his first three-pointer of the game. His first field goal of the second half.
8-point game, a chance of the stop, and really to make this thing interesting going into the fourth quarter.
How did he get out of that?
I don't know.
William Shavrin.
But more importantly, how was Patrick having the awareness that he was going to get the pass there, because it's coming at like knee height, makes the catch, goes up to the basket, draws the foul, and get a couple of free throws.
Brendan Patrick makes the first.
They don't run any drills like that.
No.
You know, that's just
There's
being
no way
a
to
good
simulate that.
athlete and having presence on the floor and them playing together, but that's a crazy play.
Patrick was 17. Make it 18.
The senior guard really stepping up where his teammates needed him in this game, playing a number of games this week. They're really looking for a win here today. Near turnover by Coronado.
That was Maxwell Howard. Last touched by Bishop O'Dowd. 23 seconds left on the shot clock. Plenty of time if you're Coronado.
And Chavrin substituted for Coach Ritchie. Doesn't want to see him pick up a late foul in the quarter.
And the fans recognizing his hustle by giving him a nice round of applause.
And Hardy goes to the basket strong.
So Hardy picking up the pace now. He's got 9 on the contest.
Red jerseys flying around.
Good steal, Terrell Hunt. Bad pass, stolen back by Brendan Patrick. Free throw line jumper, no good. Jaden Hardy with the rebound. We've got 24 seconds to go in the third period. Jaden Hardy into the lane.
That's
He
pretty
feeds
easy
Terrell
basketball.
Hunt.
Eyes go on Hardy and Hunt like a great restaurant. Location was in the right spot once again today.
And my thinking is, Bishop O'Dowd, why are you in a hurry? Take your time. There we go. Stick back is good. Aaron Anini. Oh, that would have been good had it gone, but it did not. And so we head into the fourth quarter. Our score is Bishop O'Dowd 60, Coronado 52. What a thrilling third quarter we just saw. So we're going to take a break. We will be back for the fourth quarter. We hope you're enjoying the 2019 Crush in the Valley live from Solano College, hosted by Salesian College Preparatory. This is a grind session event brought to you by Tanager Sports. I'm Leroy Watson on play-by-play. It's Chris Babcock joining me on color. We'll be back for the fourth quarter.
And a layup missed by the Dragons, and the ball
after an alert steal to start the fourth quarter. Wasted opportunity. They could have cut this thing to a two-possession game right there.
Coronado with the basketball.
Excuse me, I'm getting that all backwards. They could have,
okay.
yeah, they could have made this a 10-point lead. There we go. Oh, good work there by Terrell Hunt. He went dark on us in the third quarter, but now he's picking it up again.
You know, he's staying around the basket, and he's
well, he went dark in the second quarter, excuse me.
Filling it up today.
Oh, and he gets the amazing block. How did he not foul on that possession?
Chance to make it a 4-point game. They do.
Oh, great basket. Maxwell Howard. Two-possession game, 60-56.
Patrick coast to coast gets
no
too
good.
far under the basket.
Max Howard. Tray ball on the way. It's short. Rebound, Jelani Warren. Here comes O'Dowd the other direction. William Shavrin into the paint. Euro. Reverse layup is good.
A much-needed hoop for the Dragons.
And they push it back out to a 6-point lead, 62-56. Coronado back on the attack.
Crazy pace to start the fourth quarter.
But if you're a basketball fan, you gotta love it. And it's good for three. Richard Isaacs. I thought his foot was on the line, but the ref was closer than I was. So hey, I'll go with your judgment, ref. Look at that teardrop by William Shavrin.
Soft home court
and
roll
that is a
on the road.
Tough shot to make.
Yes.
We cannot overestimate how tough that shot is.
Especially in a foreign gym.
Yep.
And then Hardy comes back the other way. Patrick whistled for the foul.
Brendan Patrick, that's his first, team sixth. Jaden Hardy will go to the line. Try to trim this deficit. He makes the first.
Anytime you're trailing in a game in the fourth quarter and you can score when the
clock is stopped,
it's so valuable because then you can make a free throw and then set up your defense and talk to the official, work the official.
He makes both. 64-61. It's a one-possession basketball game.
Oh, somebody getting hurt there.
Oh, no. Oh, no. That is Maxwell Howard. And there are literally almost tears in my eyes. And the foul is on Jelani Warren. That is his first, team seventh. Maxwell Howard is very seriously injured. The trainer has covered his foot. He has broken his lower leg, and we'll just leave it at that. This is the second time in my life, Chris, I've been this close to that kind of injury, and it's not pretty.
And it was just got into a prone position with a loose ball. and two players going hard after the basketball, and very unfortunate situation.
You know, nothing dirty, nothing malignant. Just the basketball player gets rolled up. So we're going to take a quick break, let everybody get themselves together. We hope you're enjoying the 2019 Crush in the Valley. We'll be back in a few minutes.
That's the live feed.
Okay. And we are back at the 2019 Crush in the Valley. The ambulance, we believe, is in the parking lot. They're going to have to take Maxwell Howard out on a stretcher. They have the leg immobilized. They will have to partially set that leg before they move him. But anyway, the professionals are here in the building, and they're going to take care of him. Yeah, there's the stretcher. So he will be loaded up in a little bit.
And that's why you have a medical team here.
Yes.
And they were quickly on the floor.
The trainer covered his leg so it couldn't be seen, and I thought that was a very compassionate moment of hers.
And they do what they are trained to do. And
yes.
So just an unfortunate, just bad timing, and you could see it happen as the ball in the air. Howard lands at the same time, an O'Dowd player was on the floor hustling as well, and it just the most imperfect time for that young man, Maxwell Howard.
And this being the social media era, I'm sure he probably was concerned that mom was watching. He was on the cell phone just a few minutes ago, and I'm assuming he was calling mom.
You got to get hold of the family. That's the first thing. And
combination of adrenaline and endorphin has him remarkably calm right now. He's probably not feeling as much pain as we might think he is, and that's a good thing. That's a comforting thing.
Most certainly. And the gym all in concern, and they're and that's the really way I enjoy basketball, because high school is it's a community.
Yes.
These are all opponents on the court, but all these coaches and these players through AAU games, summer games, even the Coronado kids, they're not unfamiliar to each other, and the game means a lot to them. And the basketball community is a tight-knit group, and that's how you have events like this. But Howard getting the care and will be taken to a local hospital to get x-rayed and get everything taken care of, and fortunately for him, he's under professional care right at this point.
Yes. They're getting his leg reset as we speak, and that's the first step towards him getting healed. And just happy that the response was so quick, relatively speaking.
And it's a moment in time where everybody's here, and you see what happened, and then everybody reacted, and you reflect back on serious injuries in athletics, and it's just players going hard, and it just the most imperfect timing, the landing of everything, and then the bodies flying together, which was starting to be a frenetic pace here in the fourth quarter.
They've got the air boot, it looks like, on. That's a good sign. They usually don't put that on until the injury is mobilized. Yeah, they're stretching his leg out. So we can officially say the worst is now over for Max Howard. They straightened him out. They got the leg immobilized.
And that might be a doctor that's there helping, because he's not in a.
You're right.
He's not in a fire department uniform. He's not in an ambulance uniform.
I believe you may be right about that.
Well, no.
Well, no. Oh, no. You know what? I think he's like a sergeant from the fire department looking at the pants. But still, whoever it is, he's got good reason to be there.
Yes.
And so now they stretchered Max Howard.
And now his teammates, for the first time since he's been down, to just tell him they're with him and they're going to finish this game strong. But they're kids, and it'll have an effect on them, and we'll see how much. I believe they're going to give a little bit of time.
Yes. And just looking at facial expressions, Chris, Richard Isaacs, number 2, is really taking this hard. And coaches are going to have to keep an eye on that. I don't know if Richard Isaacs needs to come back in this game.
Well, and here's what's tough when you're on the road and you're doing these, you're out of your area, is that there wasn't the assistant coach, the head coach, we're helping the situation.
Right.
So there's nobody on the bench.
Right, right.
And you think, oh, they're players who they're kids.
They are kids.
And
that's right.
maybe by the time to get a little support, hey, guys, we're going to work through it. The kids are getting together here, and they're going to put 3 minutes on the clock and give an opportunity for these teams to
stretch out a little.
Stretch out and warm up a little bit.
There was exactly 6 minutes left to go
And
in the fourth quarter.
Probably just more importantly is give Coach Kaufman a chance to kind of regroup himself. The safety of his players is always the foremost of any coach,
yes,
supervisor, whatever it may be. So he's going to have some conversations with his team as they're shooting layups and going through things. And when we get back into play, Howard's substitute will be shooting
1 and 1.
1 and 1.
And that'll be a decision that Coach Kaufman will have to make very carefully.
Yeah.
Who do I send to the line? Who of these players, what 5 can I send out there who can hold it together for the last 6 minutes?
And he's walking around. He's doing a little inventory,
exactly.
checking with the guys. You know,
he's got to do that.
And
I'm telling you,
yeah.
And I don't mean this in any negative way, but Richard Isaacs probably does not need to return to this basketball game. Just from his body language and his facial expressions.
Well,
for his own good, he probably just needs to sit out and think.
Probably is one of his better friends. And
probably so.
In the emotion and Richard Isaacs is a freshman.
Oh,
so this isn't and not that we all have these experiences when a player breaks his ankle or something like that.
Yeah.
But
there's no formula.
Freshman. No, there's no formula. So, and again, we talked about the basketball community. Lou Ritchie coming over to talk with Jeff Kaufman.
And he's sat down on the bench.
Yes.
That is class.
Yeah, and there's no gamesmanship here. Coach, you okay?
Yeah.
You need anything? That's we've had a situation happen one of the games I announced a couple of 3 years ago, and a coach got ejected, and he called me after the game and wanted to make sure that the coach was okay and just a class act. And as many of the coaches and the KG coaches, there's always something that's common. They're good people. They're good people, and
the ones that stick around. Yes, they are.
Because if you're not, and you're coaching high school and you're not, you'll get exposed.
Yes,
so
that's right.
We'll get back underway here in a few seconds here as the horn's about to sound after the 3-minute warm-up period.
And just to give everybody some info, Coronado was on a 9-4 run to start this quarter. They were really making things interesting here, and they still may. It's just going to be an opportunity to see, okay, can they block all that out and focus? And I keep watching Richard Isaacs. He made his last shot. He missed most of his first ones terribly. He made his last shot. He just kind of shook his head. He's kind of detached from his teammates now as Coach Kaufman is talking. And now he's grabbed his head. Richard Isaacs is really going through some trauma right now. And maybe playing would be the best thing for him, but I would sit him, me.
Well,
I'd sit him right beside me and we'd talk while the game
well,
was going
Coach Kaufman knows him better, so
that's true.
He'll put him into the game. And
okay, number 5, Felix Reeves is checking in, and I'm assuming he's going to be the free throw shooter. Yes.
And big free throws here. Well, a chance for big free throws. He makes the first.
And technically, this is a little known rule. That is not Felix Reeves shooting the free throws. These free throws go on the record of Maxwell Howard. So Felix, be a good chap and make both of these for Max.
Five wasn't in the game.
All right, so the refs had to make sure that they actually inserted a sub, meaning someone who was not in the game. And Richard and Reeves rather was not in the game before that injury. So Felix Reeves to the line on behalf of Maxwell Howard. And he makes the first. Perfect free throw, nothing but cotton. His second free throw.
And that's not something you practice.
No. That's cojones right there.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a smart aleck, but you don't practice that, and that just shows some toughness on
64-63. It is now an 11-4 run by Bishop O'Dowd. By Coronado, excuse me. Bishop O'Dowd trying to rebuild some momentum of their own now. And we can't forget, they're not exactly walking around like fresh daisies either. You know, they've seen a brother in arms hurt. Oh, what an exhibition of passing there. And it leads to a beautiful shot by Terrell Hunt. And looky here, Coronado is in the lead, 65-64. Floater in the lane, William Shavrin, no good. Offensive rebound, Jaron Edwards. Coronado in transition, Richard Isaacs. The teardrop in the lane is good.
The run continues.
67-64. 15-4 to start the fourth quarter.
William Chavron with the finger roll. Much needed basket for the Dragons.
They cut their deficit back to 1, 67-66. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left in this contest. Shot no good, Rashawn Martinez. I thought he rushed it just a little bit. Bishop O'Dowd comes the other way, corner three, no good. Offensive rebound, Brendan Patrick. He got it over to, let's see, who was that? That was Jaron Edwards. He couldn't complete. Three from Jaden Hardy.
Settle in for a three.
Wild shot there by Ryzen Norris. Ball out of bounds. Last touched by, I believe that was last touched by Terrell Hunt, it looked like. And
Coach,
yes, Bishop O'Dowd
Coach
will
Ritchie
maintain
gonna
possession.
call his best inbound play here.
Shavrin just inside the three-point line, no good. Long rebound goes to Rashawn Martinez. Long pass ahead, too long.
Just put him in a very tough position under the basket. Yeah, it goes off Hunt's hands, but was
that
a
turnover
tough,
belongs to Jaden Hardy.
yes.
And a full court trap being thrown now by Coronado. Bishop O'Dowd breaks through it. William Shavrin, it's good.
Strong move to the basket. He never seems to, well, he does. He'll do the elbow jumper. But a lot of shots in the paint have been flying this, reverse that, and he's had a good game.
Tray ball is good. Richard Isaacs, the freshman, stepping up big. Basket good. Jaron Edwards answers for Bishop O'Dowd. It is 70-70.
Quite a ball game.
Buckle up, folks. It's going to be an interesting ride the last 3 minutes of this contest. Terrell Hunt. Cross court. Shot no good. Rashawn Martinez. Rebound. Bishop O'Dowd. William Shavrin over the timeline. Near the jump circle. Being guarded by Jaden Hardy.
I think the player that Coach Ritchie trusts the most with the ball in his hands is Will and Shavrin.
Foul committed by Rashawn Martinez. His first, team fifth.
Jelani Warren checks into the game for Jaron Edwards. Ball out of bounds for the Dragons.
Bishop O'Dowd tied up with Coronado. William Shavrin somehow manages to get it over to Ryzen Norris. No good. Jelani Warren comes up with the rebound. and recess to offense. Shavrin, no good. Strong rebound, Jaden Hardy in traffic. And here comes Hardy to Rashawn Martinez. Over to Felix Reeves. And back up top to Jaden Hardy. And he'll reset the offense. There are 20 seconds on the shot clock. 2 minutes left in the game. Possession arrow belongs to Bishop O'Dowd. Bishop O'Dowd already in the bonus. Coronado 2 fouls away from the bonus. William Shavrin finger roll, no good, but he is hacked.
He made it through the hands of hacking there and got to the basket and get a couple of free throws. I don't know how he got through all the coming through there.
I don't either.
But he made it through, no fouls called. That's okay. Gets to the free throw line and get a couple of free throws.
And he makes the first. Nothing but cotton.
Some big possessions here by...
These young men are showing a lot of resolve, Chris.
Yes.
To shrug off what we all saw and to come back and play like this is nothing short of inspiring.
Well, when you coach high school kids, you learn one thing especially. They're resilient.
Kids are extremely resilient.
They
You're
are
right.
resilient.
There's a resilient one right now, Richard Isaacs, whom I was so concerned about, but he looks like he's doing just fine. He scored 5 points in the last 4.5 minutes.
If he would have taken your advice, they'd probably be trailing. That's why we're over here announcing, and he's coaching.
And he's coaching. That's exactly right.
I remind myself of that a lot. So we got a timeout on the floor.
And it's a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here with 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go. And our score is Bishop O'Dowd 71, Coronado 70. What a game.
So let's see, what time is it? Oh, about 25 hours ago, Bishop O'Dowd lost to San Leandro 54-52 at the buzzer.
Oh, man.
So when you say resilience now, a heartbreaking buzzer loss is nothing what Coronado's dealing with and the injury of Maxwell Howard. But there's always lessons to be learned. Do you learn them now? Or do you learn them in a couple of days or a couple of games? O'Dowd with the basketball. 90 seconds here from Solano College. Buckle up.
And now they're going a little softer on the forecourt press. Just want to speed them up a little bit. And Nico McNeil over to Brendan Patrick. Patrick back to McNeil. Shot no good. Ryzen Norris. William Chevron with the offensive rebound. And he's fouled.
And he just wanted the ball more than anybody else on the floor when that ball hit the rim.
So both teams now are in the bonus. Public Canal said 1-1, but I thought he was hit in the act of shooting. Doesn't matter, he made it anyway. So one more free throw coming for William Shavrin. (72-70). Bishop O'Dowd on top, 1:07 left to play. Both teams now in the bonus. Shavrin cooling makes both of those free throws. And Nico McNeil and Richard Isaacs for Bishop O'Dowd and Coronado respectively have 4 fouls apiece. No one else has more than 3. Richard Isaacs, 7 points in the last 5 minutes and 8 seconds.
And he's just a freshman, wearing the emotions on his sleeve. One of his buddies severely hurt and doesn't blink and puts the Coronado team in a chance with a stop, but they'll call the timeout off the make and probably see the same type of defense. Maybe not trying to take a lot of chances, just
want to speed
force
him up.
O'Dowd to work a little bit. And Martinez is back in the game, so you would hope he could get on a miss, get the defensive rebound. But we'll see what the strategy is for Bishop O'Dowd. Both teams obviously in the bonus.
And the possession arrow belongs to Bishop O'Dowd. That could be critical. Next held ball.
And Taj Phillips checks in the game. So this is time, I want to get the ball up court, but also, too, I want to make sure I've got good, solid free throw shooters on the court as well.
52 seconds left. Bishop O'Dowd leads by 1, 73-72. They will take the ball out 92 feet from their own basket. And Coronado looks like they are going with a hard full court press. Seven seconds to get over. That's not too terrible if you're Bishop O'Dowd. William Shavrin. Teardrop in the lane is good. The lead is 3. It's a one possession game. Bishop O'Dowd on top.
The senior showing his wares here in the fourth quarter.
3 ball, no good. Jaden Hardy.
And the smallest player in the court gets the defensive rebound, Taj Phillips.
Oh, Taj Phillips came down with that. Okay. Fouls committed by Felix Reeves. That is his third, team 8th. And to the free throw line.
And then Jelani Warren checks in for Phillips for defensive and rebounding purposes on the free throw. McNeil at the line.
He missed it. Offensive rebound, it looked like. Who was that? That was Ryzen Norris. And he is fouled by Terrell Hunt. That is Hunt's second, team 9th.
Now, Norris doesn't score a ton of points, but there's been examples of his energy and how it's helped Bishop O'Dowd, and there was a prime example. His energy, he got the ball.
Just went up, and he wanted the ball worse than anyone else on that possession, like Shavrin did a few possessions ago. And Norris has quietly put in 14 points tonight, Chris.
Yep.
I'll take that.
Can-do attitude. I mean, he's only averaging 4.5 a game, but
well,
the
he's
energy.
Got 15 tonight.
Having a great game tonight.
All right, so if this is a full timeout, we'll take our last break, waiting on the referees to indicate. But, okay, everybody's sitting down, so we'll take our final break. 14.4 seconds left. Bishop O'Dowd with a little breathing room, 77-72. We hope you're enjoying the 2019 Crush in the Valley, live from Solano College, a grind session event brought to you by Tanager Sports and hosted by Salesian College Prep. We will be back in a moment. Jaden Hardy to Richard Isaacs, no good. And the rebound, Jelani Warren. And he was fouled.
And he'll get 2 free throws.
And that will probably just about do it. Foul on Carson Yeager, his first, team 10th. Jelani Warren to the line. So they are now in the double bonus. Warren will have 2. First free throw is good. Missed the second, but it's a 6-point lead. It's a 2-possession game. Richard Isaacs, tray ball is good at the buzzer. So too little, too late, but the freshman really showed a lot of resolve. So our final score, Bishop O'Dowd 78, Coronado 75. And the player of the game, Ryzen Norris. Ryzen ended up with 15 points and 11 rebounds and was a very calming factor on this team and was great on the glass, especially down the stretch. So we'll take a quick break. Chris will get set up for that post-game interview, and we'll start preparing for Game 8. This is the big one of the day, Prolific Prep versus Bella Vista Prep. They were numbers 2 and 3 in the grind session top 9 last week before Prolific Prep absolutely destroyed number 1. So we'll talk more about that game here in a moment. But we're going to let...
No, we're still got a little game left.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yes, okay.
We got 0.8 seconds left.
All right, so essentially Bishop Dow just needs to get the ball in and the game's over. Essentially. But this is basketball and crazy things can happen.
And our best wishes to
Max Howard.
Yes,
yeah.
Most certainly. Tough young man. And his family's watching. The best wishes for him and
Absolutely.
A speedy recovery.
And we want to assure the family he got treated very quickly and very efficiently. That was very impressive how they came in and took care of that. All right, so Nico McNeil will trigger the inbound play. And 0.2 seconds, they're going to say, is left. Foul committed by Rashawn Martinez. And so Brendan Patrick will go to the line and shoot 2 more.
Patrick, he's got to be close to 20 points on the game.
He makes the first.
And he's made them when they
19.
Counted. So probably 3 Dragons in double figures.
20.
I guarantee it's over now.
Yes. 80 to 75. And I don't know who they're going to bring down based on what we just heard, but
well, I'd talk to anyone, but Ryzon Norris has really brought a lot of energy to the game today.
All right, so we're going to clear out, and we're going to start getting ready for Prolific Prep versus Bella Vista Prep. And Chris will talk to the player of the game or players of the game.
One of the players of the game I will definitely talk to. That's a for sure thing.
There we go.
And then I'll take a break from the next game, but I'll be here for the post-game interview and then here for the nightcap. The
Salesian versus Clark.
I'm going to play fan for the big matchup here.
I don't blame you.
I'm with Ryzon Norris, one of the players of the game for Bishop O'Dowd. Now, you're not really ever a big scorer, You bring a lot of energy,
Yes, sir.
but you scored a lot of points today. But talk about your guys' effort.
We just come out and play hard. Our coaches always want us to come out and play hard, get rebounds, assists. We always want everybody to get a touch with the ball, you know, and look for the best shot, you know.
Now, I've known your coach for a long time, and I just confirmed with him right at the end of the half, and I said, "What did Coach Ritchie? What did you say at halftime?" And I know what he said, so I'm going to let you share with the folks at home, because I know he reminded you about a game that you played this week earlier, correct?
Salesian?
Yes.
Yeah. He just said, go out there, play hard, you know, get rebounds, you know.
Yeah, and you learn. And it's been a long week. You played a lot of games, but you closed it out with a win. One of the players of the game for Bishop O'Dowd is Ryzon Norris. Great job, young man.
Appreciate you.
You're welcome. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.